a chorus of the voices. They gather up the magnets.
Stop scrolling. I'm about to play you the 10 worst rock songs of all time, and one of them is a classic you've probably sung loud, but you might feel embarrassed when you hear why it's on this list. This isn't me just hating. These songs were big hits, and they keep showing up on worst songs lists.
37,000 feet.
I'm going to tell you exactly what makes them bad: the cheesy lyrics, the fake feeling, and the hooks that get annoying fast. And listen, there's one song here that talks like it's saving rock and roll, but people say it sounds like a commercial. When you hear which one it is, you'll never hear it the same way again. Picture you in the car. You're feeling good. Then the radio says, "Here's a classic." The song starts and you instantly reach for the volume button. But here's the problem. Somebody in the comments is going to love these songs and get mad. So I'm bringing clear reasons and receipts so you can say, no, here's why. I'm counting down from number 10 to number 1. By the end, you'll know what makes a rock song truly terrible, and you'll tell me which one you think is the worst. Let's go. Number 10. Number 10, Starship, We Built This City. I remember the first time I heard it on the radio. It hits like a big rock song, but it feels like it's wearing a costume. It's shiny, loud, and smiling too hard, like a cartoon band doing rock poses for a TV commercial. You can almost see the neon lights, the big hair, and the fake smoke machine puffing like it's trying to impress you.
You don't know me or recognize my face.
This song came out in 1985, right when radio rock was getting super clean and super polished. Built to sound huge in cars and on TV, not in sweaty clubs. It was produced by Peter Wolf and Jeremy Smith, and you can hear that big 80s style everywhere. Bright keyboards, loud drums, and a chorus designed to stick like glue. It even went to number 1 in the US, which is the wild part, because for a lot of rock fans, and it didn't feel like a rock victory. It felt like a pop song pretending to be rock. The words say rock and roll, but the sound feels more like it was made in an office with a checklist. Make it loud, make it catchy, make it safe. Fun fact, Starship was connected to Jefferson Airplane, a band from the 60s with real edge and raw energy. So when people heard this, it felt like watching a tough street fighter show up in a sparkly suit to sell soda. Like, wait, you made this. Why it's hated / why people still drag it. Fans hate it because it feels fake and overproduced, like it's trying to tell you it's rock instead of being rock. It's the kind of song that made people worry rock was turning into a product, clean, safe, and built for commercials, not concerts. Real heads keep this one like a warning sign. Don't let rock turn into a jingle. And the next tune? Different era, different attitude. But it's even louder, and it gets stuck in your head like it's trying to win a fight with your brain. Number 9, Limp Bizkit, Rollin, Air Raid Vehicle. I remember this song like it was a siren. Once it started, it didn't ask for your attention. It took it. It feels like someone yelling right in your ear on purpose. Loud, jumpy, always in a rush. Back then, it was the kind of track you'd hear blasting from cars, wrestling entrances, and TV promos like "Get Hype Now."
Baby, you know what time it is.
Rollin, dropped in 2000, right in the middle of that new metal wave when heavy guitars met hip-hop attitude. It was produced by Terry Date, who worked with a lot of big, heavy bands, so the sound is clean but aggressive. The whole song is built on a simple stomp, boom boom, like boots hitting the floor, and the hook repeats the same little lines again and again. Move in, move out, like a chant. It became huge on MTV, and it showed up everywhere in pop culture, especially in wrestling. So even people who didn't listen to rock knew the chorus. The problem is, a lot of rock fans didn't hear energy. They heard noise with a haircut, like rock turned into a loud attitude contest instead of real music.
1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that Limp Bizkit mix. So where the
Fun fact, this song got even bigger because it became a wrestling and action movie type of anthem, more entrance theme than classic rock song. People remembered the adrenaline more than the words because the words weren't really the point. Why it's hated / why it aged badly. A lot of people dislike it because it feels aggressive without much heart, like it's trying to be tough, but it doesn't say anything important. And once the new metal trend cooled off, when the song started sounding less powerful and more childish, like a loud memory from a time when louder meant better. Real heads keep this one like an old, embarrassing photo. You remember it, but you don't frame it. And the next song, same big band energy, but this time it's from a legend, and it left fans staring at the speakers like, wait, this is the ending?
You want to step into my world? It's a socialist iconic state of...
Number 8, Guns N' Roses, My World. I'll never forget the feeling of reaching the end of Use Your Illusion 2, because it's like the album suddenly turns around and jumps you in a dark alley. You're expecting one last big rock moment. Guitars, drums, swagger.
Can't show disfiguration. I want to laugh myself to death with a misfire.
Instead, My World comes in feeling weird, cold and uncomfortable, like you walked into the wrong room at a party and everybody stopped talking. See, facts and context, 2 to 5 sentences. This song showed up in 1991, hidden at the very end of Use Your Illusion 2.
Let's do it.
An album that had huge famous songs and was part of one of the biggest rock eras ever. But My World didn't sound like Guns N' Roses. It was mostly driven by Axl Rose, and a lot of fans felt like the full band wasn't even really present in the way they were on the classics. And the sound leans toward industrial-style noise and a stiff beat instead of that wild GNR swing. And lyrically, it's angry and confusing, more like a rant than a rock song. So imagine you just played You Could Be Mine or Civil War. And then you hear this. It feels like the album ends with a question mark instead of a mic drop. Fun fact, a lot of fans didn't even know this song existed for years because they would stop the album early or skip the last track without thinking. Some people first discovered it later and thought it was a demo, a prank, or a mistake left on the album by accident. Why it's hated / why it failed. People hate it because it feels unfinished and selfish, like one person took over the steering wheel and forgot what made the band special. Instead of ending a massive rock album with power, and it ends with confusion, like a door slamming without saying goodbye. Even loyal GNR fans treat this song like a locked door. They know it's there, but they don't open it. And the next one, it didn't confuse people like this. It embarrassed them on the radio and made fans everywhere go, please, turn that off.
Through a standing line, the clubs will never get in. It's like bottom of the ninth and I'm never...
Number 7, Nickelback, Rockstar. I remember when this one was everywhere. Radio, music TV, school buses, even shops playing it like it was a feel-good rock anthem. And at first, it sounds fun. But then you really listen, and it feels like a grown man reading a wish list out loud. It's like somebody playing dress-up as a rock star instead of being one.
Trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name.
Rockstar dropped in 2005 during that era of super clean radio rock. Songs made to be loud, simple, and easy to sing, even if you don't know the band. The track is built around a catchy groove and a chorus that sticks fast, but the lyrics are the real problem. It's basically a long list of stuff like, I want this, I want that, and after a while it starts to feel empty.
I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame.
It became a big hit, and that's exactly why so many rock fans turned on it, because they felt like rock music was turning into a joke, like it was selling a lifestyle instead of telling a real story. And for Nickelback, this song became part of the reason they got labelled as the most hated band online, because people started using them as the symbol of safe, factory-made rock.
Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny.
Fun fact, Rockstar got so popular that people who don't even listen to rock knew the chorus. It became one of those songs everybody could quote. And that's when the backlash got even louder, because rock fans felt like the whole genre was being turned into a cartoon.
Drugs come cheap, well I'll stay skinny as we just won't eat and we'll hang out.
Why it's hated / why it aged badly. People don't hate it because it's catchy. They hate it because it feels fake. It's like the song is selling you a costume, hair, and wear this and you're a rock star.
Wind up there, every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair and we'll...
Real heads hear this and think, rock used to be danger and truth, not a shopping list. And coming up next, a song that tried to be sexy and edgy, but ended up sounding like pure second-hand embarrassment.
How many people here know sign language?
Number 6, Kiss, Let's Put the X in Sex. I remember hearing this and thinking, wait, this is supposed to be Kiss. It hits like a glossy 80s rock song that's trying way too hard to wink at you. Instead of feeling wild and dangerous, it feels awkward, like someone telling a dirty joke that isn't funny and then waiting for you to laugh.
One goes like this.
This track came out in 1988, during the era when Kiss had taken off the makeup and was chasing big radio moments in that shiny late 80s hard rock style. The problem isn't that they sang about sex. Rock has always done that. The problem is how they did it. The title itself sounds like a clever line, someone forced in a meeting, and the lyrics don't feel smooth or cool. They feel clunky and obvious. Musically, it's polished and loud, but it doesn't have the gritty fun that made Kiss feel larger than life. It comes off like the band is trying to stay young, instead of sounding like the legends they are. Fun fact, a lot of fans see this song as part of that moment when Kiss was trying to prove they could still be hot and edgy without the face paint. But for many people, it had the opposite effect. This is the song that made them say, "Bring the makeup back, please." Why it's hated / way too why. It aged badly. Fans drag this one because it feels forced, like Kiss was chasing a trend instead of leading the party. It's not bold, it's not mysterious, it's not cool. It's just awkward and overconfident. Real heads hear this and think, this isn't rebel rock, this is midlife crisis rock. And the next song, It's from a legendary band too, but this time, the problem isn't awkward lyrics, it's that the magic feels like it disappeared. Number 5, The Rolling Stones, Dirty Work. I remember hearing this and feeling something was off. It's angry, but not the fun Stones kind of angry, more like two people arguing through instruments. Instead of that loose, dirty dancing groove, it feels stiff and cold, like the band is playing with tight shoulders. This track came out in 1986, during a rough stretch for the Stones as a group. You can hear the 80s shine all over it, hard edges, heavy sounds, and less of that bluesy swing they're famous for. The song tries to sound tough and modern, like it wants to compete with the loud rock of that time, but it loses the secret Stone sauce, that messy, alive feeling that makes you move without thinking. For the lyrics and attitude are all, "We're coming for you," but it doesn't land like a classic Stones threat. It lands like they're forcing it. Fun fact, this whole era is known as one of the most tense times in the band's story, and fans still point to Dirty Work as the moment you can hear the cracks. When the mood behind the music is bad, sometimes the record sounds bad too. Why it's hated / why it missed the mark. People don't drag it because it's loud. They drag it because it feels empty for a Stones song. The Rolling Stones are supposed to sound dangerous and alive, like they're having fun while breaking the rules. But this feels forced and unhappy. Real heads hear it and think, even legends can lose the magic when the vibe is gone. And the next song, different band, a different style, but the same feeling. You're waiting for greatness and it just doesn't show up.
Ever so silent when she wanted to talk.
Number 4, Van Halen, How Many Say I? This song feels quiet in a bad way, like the room goes awkward when it comes on. You're waiting for a big guitar moment, a fun beat, something exciting, but it never shows up. It feels sad, slow and unsure, like the band didn't know what they wanted to say.
How many say I?
This song came out in 2004 on the album Van Halen 3, and it shocked fans for one big reason. Eddie Van Halen is singing, not playing guitar. Eddie was one of the greatest guitar players ever, but singing was not his strength.
How many say I? How many?
The lyrics try to be deep and emotional, but they feel confused and hard to follow. Fans kept asking the same question: where is the guitar? Fun fact, this is the only Van Halen song where Eddie sings lead vocals, and many fans wish it stayed that way, only once. And why it's hated / why fans still cringe. People don't hate it because it's soft. They hate it because it feels like Van Halen forgot who they were. No big riffs, no energy, no fun. For a band built on fire and fun, this felt like the lights went out. And coming up next, a song that didn't just disappoint fans, it confused everyone who heard it.
Well, I just heard the news today.
Number 3, Creed, With Arms Wide Open. I remember when this was everywhere. Radio, TV, stores, even people singing it like it was a big movie moment. It's slow, shiny, and super emotional, like a rain cloud wearing sunglasses. The kind of song that makes the room feel serious, even if nobody asked for serious. This song came out as a single on April 18, 2000, from Creed's album Human Clay. It's a big power ballad, and it was made to hit hard on radio, so the drums are huge, the guitars are clean, and the singing is front and center. It even hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in late 2000, which shows how massive it was. And here's the twist. It also won a Grammy for Best Rock Song for the writers. Fun fact, Scott Stapp started writing it when he found out he was going to be a dad. And the story is that the song came together fast, like the feeling hit him all at once. That's why it sounds like a big life moment song. Why it's hated / why people say it's bad. People call it one of the worst because it feels too dramatic and too polished. Like it's trying so hard to be deep that it becomes cheesy. The vocals are heavy and serious, and when it was overplayed, it started to feel like a joke to a lot of rock fans.
Just one wish, only one demand.
This isn't a hidden gem. It's the song that made people say, rock got corny. And the next one? It's not just corny. It's the kind of track that makes fans go, why did they even release this? Number 2, Lou Reed and Metallica, The View. I remember the first time this hit the internet, people clicked play like, no way, this is really happening. Then the song starts, and it feels like two different worlds crashing into each other. Metallica's heavy guitars, and Lou Reed talking over it like he's reading a dark poem in a cold room. It's not fun, not catchy, and it can make you feel confused more than anything. The View was released as the single from their joint album Lulu on September 27, 2011, and the album followed on October 31, 2011. The project wasn't meant to be normal rock. Lulu is built around a wild story concept tied to Frank Wedekiind's Lulu plays, with Lou doing mostly spoken word style vocals over Metallica's heavy playing.
Borrow something cheap as someone who despises it.
Critics and fans were split hard. Some respected the risk, but a lot of listeners called it painful and hard to sit through. Fun fact, this song sparked one of rock's funniest internet jokes because of the line, I am the table. People couldn't believe they heard that in a Metallica song, so it turned into a meme that never died. Also, the music video was directed by Darren Aronofsky, which tells you how art project this whole thing was. Why it's hated / why people say it's so bad. For a lot of rock fans, it fails because it doesn't feel like a song. It feels like a heavy riff trapped under a strange speech, with no big hook to hold on to. The mood is dark, the delivery is stiff, and when you expected a powerful Metallica moment, you got something that sounds like it's arguing with you instead of entertaining you. And real heads keep this one as a caution story. Just because it's brave doesn't mean it's enjoyable. And the next tune, it's not confusing like this. It's the one that made people say, how did this become a hit? Number 1, Yoko Ono and Plastic Ono Band. Why? I remember putting this on and thinking, okay, where's the song part? It doesn't feel like a normal rock track with a clean melody you can hum. It feels like a storm in a small room, guitars grinding, drums hitting hard, and Yoko's voice going wild like an alarm you can't switch off. Facts and context. Why opens Yoko's 1970 album Yoko Ono/Plastic Ono Band, released on Apple Records. It was recorded in 1970 at Abbey Road Studios in London, and the track features that famous Plastic Ono Band crew, John Lennon on guitar, Ringo Starr on drums, and Klaus Voormann on bass, backing Yoko's vocals. In the US, it was even released as the B-side to John Lennon's single Mother on December 28, 1970, so a lot of people bought it and heard this as a surprise. And yes, sources even tag it as proto-punk because it's raw, loud, and not trying to be pretty. Fun fact, this track is basically a no-rules performance. Yoko's doing vocal improvisation over a heavy rock groove, and Lennon's guitar is screaming right along with her, like it's answering back. That's why some listeners call it brave, and other listeners call it unbearable. Why it's hated/why people say it's so bad. A lot of rock fans put this at the bottom because it doesn't sound like music time. It sounds like noise time. There's no normal hook, no easy chorus, and Yoko's voice can feel like it's fighting the band instead of riding the beat. If you grew up on riffs, choruses, and big sing-alongs, this one feels like getting pushed into the deep end with no warning. Now tell me the truth. What's your #1 worst rock song ever? And which song on my list do you secretly defend?